Little countdown too.
You like my fire, you like
All right, guys, welcome back to the warm up. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, turn on all the notifications before we get into it. I'm your host, Ja. Joining us today is Lay. He's in the top right, Kratos in the bottom left, Drewski, aka OG, in the bottom right. All right. To start us off today, we're going to talk about Game 5 of the finals, Thunder versus Pacers. Thunder ended up coming out on top to close out that game. J-Dub with a huge master performance. Shea doing Shea things. Really well overall game for the Thunder. Yeah, so who wants to get into it first?
Well, what was
Yeah.
No, please.
No,
Kratos, please. No, please.
After age before you.
You're older. You're older.
Well, Game 5. I mean, my first thoughts, unfortunately, go back to Game 4, when I think that was the Pacers' game to win and guarantee them the highest odds. They go up 3-1. Because I was like, the Thunder aren't going to go. The Thunder aren't going to lose Game 5 in a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe, and to some degree, the Scott Foster, aka the extender effect. But they were down by 3 with about 7 minutes left, and then I've never seen OKC turn it up in the fourth quarter against this team to that level. They were playing as fresh as they were in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then from then, it's just tough. I forget at what point. I think maybe when they went on, when the run got to like 9, Rick Carlisle takes a timeout, and then I'm like, you put TJ back in. He decided to roll with Halliburton. It's a tough decision. It's easy to say in retrospect, but honestly, I think I might have done it. But that was such a deflating loss. Thank God Indy is going back home, because the way they just look so dejected, and Halliburton just he's a game time decision. I'm not sure they can come back and win it now.
Yeah. Lay, what do you think? What's your
Yeah, I
thoughts
don't
on
know,
Game
man.
5?
That was an outstanding performance from OKC, including J-Dub, who thought that he would have had 40 points and popped off like that, especially he's
really
coming to that number one option. He didn't have to be a number one option, but it seemed like he was all night, He popped off. So, I mean, kudos to him. I think the what's the word for it? The wild card in that game was Aaron Wiggins. What he had, like 4 or 5 steals, as a young gunner. So I think that definitely put him over the edge as well. Chet played pretty good, I don't know, but overall I think Indy just had an off night, Halliburton wasn't himself, stuck up the bed.
They couldn't hit a 3. I mean, they haven't been able to hit a 3 all series.
Yeah. And people like to give kudos to the defense of OKC, and I want to give it to them as well. But they beat them twice already, so I mean it's nothing that they can't do already. So I mean I think they'll bounce back Game 6 and force a Game 7. But who knows?
Think they're gonna force a Game 7?
Oh yeah, they're gonna force it. I think it's in the script.
I don't think so.
I think it's in the script. They
Halliburton's hurt, man.
With that devil magic that he got. Oh, they're gonna force it. I think Halliburton's
gonna start TJ McCollum.
I think Halliburton's gonna have 22, 11, and 13 tomorrow.
He's due. He is due.
He's due. You can't play worse than this.
You literally can't statistically.
So you ride with TJ McCollum and take you to Game 7? What you telling me?
Huh? CJ McCollum.
That's what you ride on?
Listen, I don't even like the guy, but I think he's due. I think he's due for a dub. I think he's due for it. You can't play no worse than this. Is probably his worst game of his career.
Well, on Bucks fan doesn't like Halliburton.
Huh? Oh, don't start that. Listen. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think he can't play any worse than this. The floor is the ceiling in this case, so I think he He has no doubt but to bounce back and have a historical Game 6. I think in Indiana, that Bakersfield is going to be. What's the name of that arena? Bakers, whatever.
Gainsbridge Field.
Gainesfield. Yep.
Oh,
That place is going to be on fire tomorrow night. So I think they're going to take a nasty W tomorrow.
What do you think,
You're
Ford?
probably right. Role players play better at home, so we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see
that's
what
what he is.
What do you think, Ford, on your overall perception of Game 5?
Oh, it was a hell of a game, man. J-Dub, he showed out. I was not expecting that. It was just countless times he just showed up. Big moment. Quick three here, still here, tip here. I'm like, man, it was just everybody was on the string, and it was a great game to see. I watched it pretty much the majority of the game, so it was a hell of a game. I felt like he should have just kept playing T.J. McCollum and just left Helly on the bench and just keep riding the high hand. You got to keep riding the high hand. I'm sorry. He's not bringing you nothing. I just seen the stat earlier or watched the video earlier. I think I seen the video, but Halliburton, all his shots came from the right side. He ain't took a left-hand shot yet.
You don't go left. You
He don't go left.
left.
All his shots on the right side. You know, it's just like, so I don't know. We'll see. I think the Pacers are going to lose, though. I think it's over with.
I agree. I think from an overall, I feel like each time I watch the Thunder play, they mature each game. And I think that was just another milestone. Like, oh, they kind of figured out how to win in the finals now. And J-Dub, like, I'm not saying he's gonna have 40 again, but you have a 40-point game, you're gonna be comfortable regardless if it's home or away. But like you guys said, I mean, it all comes down to Halliburton. Like, it's the finals. If he's a superstar, if he's not, he's your first or second best player, he has to show out. Like, 0 points, hurt or not. Like, if you hurt, say you hurt and sit out, let T.J. McConnell go. But if you play, you play. Like, there's no excuse. That's the rule. Like, I'm sorry. So he has to have a good game. I don't know if he will, because see, my thing is, like, I love T.J. McConnell got off, but he got off. But, like, what happens if the Thunder prepare for that now? And they're like, okay, when T.J. McConnell comes in, let's just put Dort on him. He not getting past Dort. Like, I think for the most part, I do think it's over. I think they're gonna close out tomorrow, but we'll see. I don't know what's that home court maybe can help. J-Dub's been up and down the whole playoffs, but this finals he's been pretty consistent. Chet hasn't found his jumper, but he's been terrific on the defensive end of the ball. But we'll see.
Yeah, they get a little home cooking. I mean, they have this. This is the first time they've trailed in the playoffs all season. They've never trailed until this series. And when one player outscores 80% of your starting lineup, which is an insane stat, and you only lose by 11, a couple of plays here and there, you'll come back. I mean, it wasn't just Halliburton. It was everybody not named Siakam.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Halliburton, Nembhard, Turner, Nesmith combined for 38 points. J-Dub had 40. So he alone outscored them. That's crazy.
Yeah. And as great as Siakam was, he had like 4 turnovers in the fourth alone. 3 to 4 turnovers alone.
He did.
So, yeah.
He did. And honestly, one of the few advantages the Pacers have as a team is I thought if the game was close, advantage them. Always.
Yeah. Especially after game 1.
Yeah, and they brought it back to within 2.
They did. And then after that, it was, turnover fest.
Right.
Yeah, the Thunder as a whole, as a team, they had 27 blocks and steals. Like, anytime somebody has in their 30 stocks, like, you're probably not going to lose that game. And then you have the secondary best player having 40. Shea still 32, 33. That's hard ass,
Yeah. I think SGA had 2 blocks and 2 steals. I'm like, oh my god.
SGA was awesome on defense. I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, as great he is with that midi, getting to the cup, drawing fouls, man, he's always in the right spot. Siakam, he's always fronting Siakam, getting his deflection steals, stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. So not to Shea, for sure.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all got any? Oh no, go ahead.
You think at least one of these games, Miles Turner is going to hit a shot? Just that. Is he shooting? Is he shooting 20% from 3? I remember game 4 he was 0 for 6, And in this game, he shot from three. He didn't even want to shoot a three. He was 1 for 2. He's 1 for 2, and he is so critical to them keeping size on the court while being able to space the floor out. And he really is a huge component to their pick and roll game. That was really cooking the beginning of Game 4. That if this is how he's going to show up for Game 6, then it's definitely finito. But they need they definitely need Halliburton to have some sort of a bounce back game, and one of Nesmith, Turner, or Nembhard to get them 15 plus. I think. Yeah, and just
I agree.
And just hope that their bench can be good enough. Maybe Mathurin can get over the 10-point. Maybe he can get it double digits again. Because he had a bad last 2 games. I still can't believe we're seeing 12 minutes of Tony Bradley.
I was just thinking that.
I thought his minutes killed the Pacers. I felt like every time he's doing
a
a legal screen offensive foul, I'm like, dude, like.
Yeah, and he played 12 minutes. They lost by 11. They lost by 11 playing Tony Bradley for 12 and Halliburton not hitting a field goal.
Yeah, like I said, I think they totally.
Like, why is Bryant not playing? Why is Thomas Bryant not playing?
Yeah,
but my bad. Go ahead,
yeah.
Luke.
The Pacers totally they beat themselves towards the end, man. Like I said, they closed it. I think what was a tie game after they trailed it back.
They had it within 2 with like 7:50
like 2 points.
Yeah,
and they turned
like 95, 93.
So I think they kind of just blew themselves up on that one. So I mean, you got to give it up to Halliburton getting hurt and some scenarios here and there. But I mean, I think they definitely kind of beat themselves rather than they just lost the game. So I think they'll bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked it up. Miles Turner, he's shooting 22% from 3 after shooting 45% from 3 in the first 3 rounds.
And let us
Halliburton's at 29% from 3. Siakam's at 35. Nembhard.
So you could say all these guys return to the mean after destroying the East for 3 rounds. They all return.
I think they're a little below average now, though. I think they're a little bit below the average now.
Way below average.
Well, yeah, they were shooting out of body. Now you go on the slump. So now then this is returning their average about to what they did in the regular season. Mm-hmm. So, return to the mean. They're just, they played this hard for, what's this, game 80 or something? I don't know. Maybe their bodies, maybe this is just the limit of what they can do. I'm not sure. Hopefully the 2 days rest, because that game was a 1-day rest. Only one of the season, I think. Or was that game 3 to 4? I can't remember.
That was game 3 to 4. Was it 1 day rest? That was
game 3 to 4. Okay. Yeah. Well, but maybe the 2 days rest back in the home court. If there's ever a game to bust out Larry Bird, it is this game.
Oh yeah,
it is.
They gonna need him.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's weird too. Like, as much as I want to say the shooting was like a big impact, they're not getting paint touches. Like OKC, it's just constant rim pressure. I think Jalen Williams had like 4 dunks in the first quarter. Just constant, relentless effort to the rim. Chet getting slips to the rim. Hartenstein was amazing, just finding Caruso on these cuts in the first quarter. Like it's getting your feet in the. I think that's what's so good about Halliburton. Like once he gets to the paint, he's selfish in that point, but he's not even getting past the free throw line. So he's kind of ability at this point because he's not. He's a willing passer, but it's starting to hurt to the team now. So
it's hurting you more than it's benefiting you right now.
Yeah, they figured him out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he was struggling so much to get past their full court pressure that when he was healthy, and now he's got the calf injury. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe this is as far as strategy goes. I'm not sure what we're going to roll to next. As far as strategy goes, one big change they made in between the series was Um, they started posting Siakam a little higher around the elbow and started playing out of the high post. Got Halliburton off the ball a little more, and that kind of made it easier for them to get Siakam the ball so we could take advantage of smaller guys, SGA, things of that nature. What I miss? Did I miss something?
Nothing.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe this is a game where they take it to the extreme, and if Halliburton can't go, maybe they start TJ McConnell, or maybe this is a heavy pick and roll game with Pascal as the ball handler. I'm not sure.
You can let Nimhart run the PG.
I mean,
yeah.
Maybe they do.
I mean, I from what I get from like all of us, I think we think there's potential for a game 7, like it could happen, but in my heart, it feels like it's over and they're figured out. Especially if Halliburton. I mean, even if he does play, he's going to be limited. He had MRI yesterday. It just seems like, I mean, for him to go out there and ask him to have 22-point triple-double, I mean, when he just had 0 points and only 7 field goal attempts, that doesn't seem like. I mean, if he gets 15 points, I'll be impressed at this point. You know what I mean? Like, they got him locked up, tired. They got him figured out. I mean, I think it's over. That's just me, though.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. But some enemy just says they're gonna pull out some devil magic, and they're gonna figure out a way to win tomorrow.
Foster, come back and undo the wrong you've done.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Foster waiting for game 7. They waiting. They saving him.
Something is not. This is gonna be one of the craziest game 6 you've ever seen in a long time.
He's the extender, not the finisher.
I don't know, man.
I can't wait to see what Rick Carlisle does. I think he's. I think this has been one of the best back and forth battles we've seen. You know, between two coaching minds, the young up and I don't even think Dagnot's 40 yet, and then you know Rick Carlisle's probably at this point one of the best, most accoladed coaches left that's active, anyways. Right. So I don't know what else they can do. That's not completely out of left field, like I suggested with running Siakam with the ball in his hands a lot more. I don't think there's any juice left with him playing off ball, Halliburton playing off ball. You know, maybe just I don't know.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, you're going to need your main guys to hit shots, or pray your bench. Yeah, I don't know.
You know what's crazy? So you know what's crazy? Everybody gave him a problem when he took out Hartenstein.
Yeah. Well,
and I think it's worked though since he put him back in though. To everyone, to everyone's like, you know, credit. Like I think they're a lot better team at the start of game when Hartenstein starts. They just look a lot more comfortable. Chet could like settle into the help defender spot better instead of just guarding the pick and roll right away. But yeah, I'm with you. So to wrap it all up with the finals, so I got the Thunder closing it out game 6.
Pacers.
You have Pacers game 7.
Yep.
Kratos.
I'm going to speak it into existence. Let's go game 7.
Ford.
I said OKC in 6 to begin with, so I'm sticking with
it. Okay.
They're going to do it. Yeah.
Stand on that. All right.
All right. Let's move on.
I think I had OKC in 6 too, actually.
I think I had OKC in 4, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah.
I got the Pacers 2 games, man.
I was like,
I said
maybe 5. Like, you know, I give them a win. It's only been 7.
I thought the Pacers were going to win by 20 at least one game.
I knew Holly would get them one game.
Really?
At least.
I was like, I thought if
just
they
like
either
a crazy
hit a game winner or they won by 20
type thing.
Yeah, that's a bold statement. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, but
all right.
Every Pacers win has been single digits.
Yeah,
we're gonna move on. Even though the finals are still going, we had a crazy trade the other day. The Grizzlies traded Bane to the Magic on Sunday in exchange for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and a first-round pick swap per Shams. Initially, or what were your guys' initial thoughts when this trade happened? Bane going to the East, the Grizzlies side of it, all of it. Ford, if you want to start us off.
Oh, I like how you put
I
the,
can hear
the
you.
words up there. That's nice. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You said it again?
Oh, I was just like, what's your thoughts on the Bane trade?
Oh, I think it was good. Magic is in win now mode. The East is wide open, and I think it was perfect. That's what they needed. They needed another guy that can go get you 20 plus. He can lock you down too. He's shooting 40 plus from three, and he gets you a dunk or two, and he's gonna lock you down. So I think it's a good win now move. I mean, why not? Celtics gonna be hurt. We don't know what Giannis is gonna do with the Bucks as far as that goes, and the East is pretty much wide open. I don't see nobody really. I mean, the Cavs got to maybe do something there, but
They got their own problems. Yeah.
they got their own problem. But yeah, the East is pretty much wide open. I think right now you just got to maximize what you got. You got two guys and Wagner and and Paolo. Just they're getting you 20 plus a night. They need some more help. So I think Bane's gonna be great for them.
Lay, what you think?
When I first looked at it, I said, "What in the hell are the Orlando Magic doing?" I've seen 4 first-round picks.
Yeah,
I thought it was absolutely stupid. But I took some time to think about it. I think it was a good trade. They're in a win-now situation. They gave up KCP and freed up some space there. And you got Desmond Bane. I think he was honestly the number one option on Memphis at times. He led the team through the downtime. So I think this is a great trade for Orlando. The East has got younger, and the East is wide open, like Forrest said. So this is the time to do it. They picked up Desmond Bane, he paired him along with Wagner and Banchero. This is great. What they shipped off Cole Anthony as well. So yeah, he's whatever.
Yeah.
This is great for the Orlando Magic. So I think this is great. This puts them, I think, in the top 4 spot that they were projected to be in last year as well. So this is great for the Orlando Magic.
Kratos?
Breaking news, but Tess might be joining. Anyways.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you see 4 first-round picks for a guy that's never sniffed an all-star team, maybe sniff is a strong word. It's always like, what the hell? Yeah. John, do you want to help? Do you want to help this man join? He's asking me, do I need his email to join?
No, if you could just.
Come on, man. Show us how to put the backdrop. Tell somebody how to join something. Let you know how to do it, man. Stop being lazy.
Yeah, let me join. Time.
Yeah.
I'm over a scarf for my food. I'm sorry.
Turn this camera off.
Put email in chat. So yeah, I'm sorry. Well, look,
continue.
The Orlando Magic. I agree with what Jatu said. I think this is a great trade for them. This trade could be similar to what the Pacers did with Siakam. Honestly, it might even be better. It might even be better because I think it pushes them out of the play-in range, which they've never been able to get out of. It's a hand in glove fit. I love their starting lineup. He might even be able to make an all-star team over here in the East. I'm just a little concerned on the overall health of their team because Suggs, I know from experience, the guy has barely played over 40 games because I get him every season in fantasy, and I don't learn my lesson. So if he can have a game where he plays like 70%, I think this team is definitely scratching of 50 wins. I mean, they just had like a weird season with both of their best scorers and primary playmakers getting the same injury, the oblique brothers. Wendell Carter is their preferred center because he can shoot. I actually don't think he's their best center. I think it's Goga, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
so. So I think what this also does, because a lot of people are saying with Suggs, Bane, Paolo Franz, and Wendell, that's a crazy start. I think it is, but I think by starting Bane, who's going to be way better than the 8 points and 34% 3-point shooting that Caldwell Pope was giving you, he might even shoot good enough that you can start a Goga. We'll see. Because he'll just open up the shooting that much, kind of how the Warriors start a bunch of non-shooters, let's say, but they got Curry. And maybe Hill if they start him. So, yeah, I think what was their? They were 41-41 this season, I think. And they had massive missed injuries by all those guys. I actually don't think Bane is a great defender. I think he's passable. I mean, his wingspan is that of somebody a couple inches shorter than him. Yeah. I mean, everyone knows he's T-Rex Bane.
Oh, here go Matt. Matt.
Whoa. Nicholas Kerr.
Whoa.
Golf legend. Wow.
Nicholas Kerr don't come out till tomorrow. Easy.
He's still being called up. But yeah, man, you caught me. We were on my turn talking about this Bane trade. It's
a lot of picks.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the whole trade, Matt?
Yeah, jump on in.
Oh man, it's a lot of picks, but I kind of understand why they did it, right? I mean, they've already got their squad built. I mean, they're just going to add some free agency pieces. I mean, they don't. It's not wasted picks, but it's for them. It's good. It's good waste. Like I said, I think it provides shooting for them. It spaces the floor out for them. I like it, especially in the East when JT's down. Can Cleveland do what they're doing again? Nobody thought the Pacers were going to be what they were this year. So I like it. I think all the top 4 teams in the East have to take a chance like that now's the time because, as we talked about in the text, Celtics, to me, as a Celtics fan, full rebuild. I'd be done. That team, JT's going to be out. I probably would trade Jaylen Brown. KP's gone. Al's gone. So I like it.
Yeah, another thing that makes this trade easier to digest is that they control that Bane is smack dab in the middle of his prime or the beginning, depending on what you think it is. And he just signed an extension, so they don't have to worry about re-signing him. His contract kicks in next year, I think. They got him for the next 4 years. And I mean, and these I mean, from the Grizzlies' perspective, I wonder if they make another deal. I mean, but because these picks are all going to be nowhere near the lottery. So,
no.
I mean, they got 3 unprotecteds, this year's pick, and a swap. But starting lineup, this is great for the Magic. I think this probably puts them talent-wise top 3-4 team in the league, depending on what the Sixers do, I guess. I don't even know what Joel Embiid's situation is.
I don't think it matters what they do.
Sixers hater over here.
What do you mean?
Nah,
He's lucky to get 50 games out of Joel.
That's true.
He's going to get 50 games. So.
Yeah,
that's true. Honestly, that's the problem with a lot of these teams in the East, man. I mean, the Sixers, Embiid's probably averaged 30 games. The Magic, I feel like the Magic are never healthy. The Celtics now, who never got injured, now they have an injury problem.
Cleveland's had injury scares the past 3 years, and this was the first year there weren't injury.
Yeah, Cleveland. I mean, and the Knicks played under Thibodeau, and it'll become so ironic. Whatever coach they hire, that's when they start getting injuries because they really haven't had major injuries in 5 years.
They're not used to running.
Yeah.
Wow. And then the Bucks. So honestly, it depends on who stays the healthiest. But talent-wise, yeah, I love what the Magic did. Totally.
I think from a pick, like a strictly pick perspective, I mean, we go back from the past couple years. Like the Wolves gave up a bunch of picks for Gobert, Western Conference Finals last 2 years. The Knicks gave up a bunch of picks for Mikal Bridges, Eastern Conference Finals this year. You know what I mean? I mean, even the Siakam trade, it was like 3 unprotected first, a couple swaps, and they've been in the conference finals last. So I feel like when we look at these picks, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of picks, but like you got to look at the personnel that they have around. Like, are these picks are they going to convey when the time comes?
Absolutely right.
I think for the Magic perspective, Paulo's 21, Franz is 22. Like the time, we all think Paulo is going to be a superstar. So the Magic is going to be a superstar team. Like if they're healthy, those picks aren't going to mean anything. It'll be like late 15, 16, maybe 20, 21, overall picks. So I like the trade overall for sure.
Yeah.
And also, it all depends on these draft classes too, though.
Yeah.
A lot of these players are staying in college now. So.
Yeah. We'll see. And that's even a more like reason to trade picks because maybe the draft isn't as valuable as it is year to year. It's like, the big year it'll be like this year.
Do you guys still, as of right now, going in next year, is Cleveland are they the favorite for the East right now?
It's Pacers.
Where does Orlando jump up now in terms of where would you rank them? Is it what do we got? Cleveland, Indiana, New York. I mean, I know we have Milwaukee. We see what they do and how active they're going to be in the free agency, but
I do think it got to be Cleveland.
I think it's Cleveland still.
I like Indiana too. That's a safe bet. But I just see like for the 3 or 4 spot, I can see the Pacers being 3. Like I have no reason to believe they can't do what they did this year. But I think who's going to take that like big leap is the Pistons. Like if they could build on what they did last year, and Cade's only going to get better. He's getting older. I mean, the East is better than I think people think. It's not like as top heavy as the West, obviously, but yeah, it's competitive for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, just before I answer Tess question, I definitely think, it's trading 4 picks for X player started with Gobert, and it's a product of the horrible second apron CBA that the Players Union decided to do. I hope it gets. I don't know when this one expires, but whatever they can keep the second apron. Just get rid of how restrictive it is to make trades instead of doing dollar for dollar. I cannot believe these guys are making $100 million, but we have to match to the cent. So that's insane. So, and to that point, these smaller market teams, if you want to call Orlando that, you got to go get your guy. I don't know the last free agent they've signed that was that was this good. So you got to trade for him. And then, maybe down the road, 4 or 5 years from now, or maybe 2-3 years from now, if this doesn't work, maybe they can flip Bane again for 4 picks or 3 picks, whatever. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I do think this drops them, boosts them up to probably a tier 2 team. We'll see. Health is definitely an issue with this team. With guys so young, it's kind of concerning. I definitely have Cleveland, Indiana in the top tier. Then I got the Knicks. They seem to be reverting more to the 2010 Knicks over the past couple weeks. But I think they're right there. I think this Magic team is right there with them.
Yeah, 100%.
Celtics now at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't even think the Celtics
they're not gonna be that bad.
Stop it.
They're not gonna be that bad. But I think they're gonna be as bad as Brad Stevens want them to be. You know what I mean? Like I think they could be a top 6 team still. But do they want that in a year where they don't have JT? Like, do you really, or do you try to get like a?
Yeah, if JB's gone, then that's a different story. But I don't see them falling below the bottom 6.
A great team.
As of right now, they're definitely a 41+ team, which gets them maybe they can make it out of the play-in.
I mean, Orlando was 41-41. The Hawks were 40-42 this year.
Magic.
I have higher than that, man. Maybe
I definitely have the Celtics. I definitely have the Celtics higher than that.
I'm trying to be about that Charlotte Hornets, about 19 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point in playing this year, right? Our banner's good for another 10 years. So, we don't need any more. We just got to stay one ahead of the
Lakers. Just stay one ahead.
$10 million team.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that for sure. All right. I mean, y'all got any last thoughts on the Bane trade before we move on?
Well, yeah. Let's talk the other side of the coin. Let's talk the other side of the coin. We didn't talk Grizzlies.
Yeah. I mean, for the Grizzlies, I feel like the Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Ja Morant trio has ran its course. I mean, they never found that 3-and-D small forward that they needed. I don't know. It's kind of interesting too. A couple weeks ago, we saw that Edie had ankle surgery, and he's now supposed to be out for the first couple months of the season. So it's like you're sitting there without a starting center. Jaren Jackson Jr. is eligible for this max extension. I feel like they gotta hold out because I feel like if they try to trade for Ja or trade Ja away, he's at his lowest value. I feel like maybe they use this season. Maybe he comes out, he's Ja Morant again, and then they revisit maybe around the trade deadline. But I mean, I just it doesn't make sense to me personally why you would trade Ja right now when he's at his lowest value. When just 2 years ago we thought he was undisputably a top 10 player.
It's crazy how quickly sports can change.
Yeah.
So you're ready to tear the team apart.
Yeah. What was that, Matt?
You're ready to tear the team apart, right?
Yeah. Well, build up the value and then blow it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They need to blow it up. Expedition. They have no assets. This. I'm looking at the roster right now, and this ain't looking too good. I don't even see. I don't know how they get to playing. Like it's maybe they're playing team at best. I'm not seeing it.
I don't think.
And who knows? If Ja stays healthy. His availability is just the biggest concern for me for Ja. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would go that route. I think I would stay put if I was Memphis and try to add a piece or two. I say that for a few reasons, right? We don't know what Golden State will be, who finished off in front of them at 48-34. I'll probably get some eye shrugs, but we don't know what LA is going to be. LeBron is another year older. Injuries will set in at some point for that man. I know he is the guy. I get it. I've watched him my whole life. The man is impressive, but I don't know if I would just get rid of. I don't know if I would trade them. Now the one thing I will say is I don't believe Zach Edey plays a part in their future. I think that was a wasted pick, top 10 pick. But that's a whole different conversation for a different day. You talk about building somebody up. That's who I would build up and look at the value. But I would look to add some stuff. I think that anytime you've got Ja Morant, and if you've got a focused Ja Morant, I think you have the opportunity to rise up as far as he will carry you, kind of thing. So I don't think I blow it up yet.
No. I'm going to side with the Celtic fan here. I totally agree. I don't want to blow this team up. When I first saw the trade, I'm like, okay, now it's time to blow it up. But then you take a step back. To Lay's point, this team is bereft of talent. So I don't even know how they got 48 wins.
Desmond Bane.
Desmond Bane. I mean, when you think back, they were they the 2 seed for majority of the season, or at least for the first half of the season. 2 seed
at Christmas.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 seed at Christmas, and then this is playing this special wheel action that was brought in by, I forgot the assistant name. He might be the head coach right now. That the ownership made Taylor Jenkins sign. So these guys were butting hit. I mean, this is just a very Knicks-esque situation, and they were able to get a win for most of the season, and they're starting. Like I said, they're starting Zach Edey. They're starting Jalen Wells, who was a late pick, 2 rookies, and then Marcus Smart. I cannot believe how hard this deal flopped. I thought this guy, coming from the Celtics, Defensive Player of the Year champion, I thought he would have brought some pedigree or some stability to this locker room. But amidst all that, this team was 2 wins away from the 3rd seed. So I do agree. Desmond Bane was their most consistent player, I think. He was their main playmaker when Ja inevitably goes out. They were able to sustain a little bit with Scottie Pippen there. Next year, with these 4 picks they got, maybe they can retool Marcus. Not Marcus Smart, because I think he's on the Wizards now. So maybe you can trade something else. Like maybe you can trade Luke Kennard. Hopefully Brandon Clark can come back. Where's he been? G.G. Jackson, Vince Williams. He came back and got injured immediately. These guys are these are guys that had moments for this team 2 years ago. So
I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm like, what's the point of being mid in the West, in a loaded West like that? Like, what was the benefit? What if they looked at it like, oh, the West is so good. What if we just tank these 2 years, get these picks, kind of OKC's route, and then start building through the draft? Like but at the other side of it too, is like they got 4 unprotected picks from the Magic. What if they like call up the Pelicans and like, hey, we'll give you Jalen Wells, Edey, and another piece, or Aldama or something, for like a Herb Jones, a Trey Murphy, bolster that wing rotation up. I mean, that's also another route too. But I don't know if that team is good enough. Like, good enough for what? Like a second round? Like, it's like, what are we trying to aim for here?
Well, these guys are all very young, and thankfully they don't have to pay Triple J a max deal because he missed the All NBA team and he didn't win.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think he missed it by 1 vote. I saw or heard on the podcast. I can't remember. And that was $200 million miss, which is insane. If he made it, he would have got a 5-year, $350 million deal. Now he's got a 4-year, $145 million deal. It's crazy. But, Ja, what Tess said, you get a focused Ja in a system he wants to play, heavy pick and roll, not this wheel action. Jaren Jackson would have had a healthy season. You get him. Maybe you start Santi Aldama so you can just get max spacing, because unfortunately, Ja, I don't think has really, he still can't shoot. His numbers still look good to me, but I'm like, it's got to get put together one at some point. Maybe next season is the season he can shoot. Yeah, they break 50 wins again.
Hey, what really hurt them too, though? People are not really talking about Brandon Clark being hurt.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, no G.G. Jackson, no Brandon Clark, Vince Williams, all these guys.
That dude, they was a monster in that pick and roll with Ja. He was healthy.
Exactly. So you retool, see what happens. You got Triple J, you got Ja Morant, and you ride it up. At least for a year or two.
Jerry got to get on the glass, man.
Yeah, he does. I think you ride it out 1 more year, because the thing with Ja, like,
that changes the game.
Yeah, I know that Ja can't shoot very well, but the thing with Ja is, like, he's easily, to me, a top 5 of the most athletic player in the league when he's fully focused. And the pros and cons of that is, you ride it out this year. You were really 4 games away from being the number 2 seed, 2 or 3 seed, right? So you were 4 games away. You were up in the top of the conference all the way through Christmas. So you ride it out. And then I think this year, if you see that it's not going well, you do what Ja said. You turn around and start getting ready to flip stuff, because the downside of being so athletic is that's the first thing that goes in your NBA career, is your athleticism starts dropping. Right. With Ja not being a shooter, the moment that drops, we're going to see stats go down and so, and you just kind of trickle down. And then at that point, you're stuck with what you got. So
correct.
We'll see. So
yeah, and their perimeter defense was a problem. No matter how bad KCP played in Orlando, he is an upgrade over Bane defensively.
yeah,
He could bring some. I think he'll bring what we thought Marcus Smart was going to bring to that team.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think he'll fit
If he
better
can shoot,
in
though.
Memphis. Yeah, I think he'll fit better in Memphis than he did in Orlando. Because
If you can shoot, though. So that was the whole
this is what
problem
I'm
with
saying.
Orlando.
I think he'll fit better. I mean, he was able to shoot with LeBron and Jokic, two great playmakers.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Jalen Suggs and Paolo, but that is
Mhm.
YMCA levels of offense, and I should know. And when Suggs when Suggs got injured, it went from bad to worse. And honestly, the craziest stat I heard this by Zach Lowe, they've never had a top 20 offense. Never. In the past 10 years. Sorry, so not never. In the past 10 years they haven't, which is a crazy stat. You put him with a guy like Ja, who at his peak was averaging like what 27 and 26 and 8. You take out Zach Edey, put him back on the bench, start Aldama. You got John KCP, JJ, Triple J, Santi Aldama, and maybe Jalen Wells. Hopefully he can be healthy. Yeah. And maybe this team can finally break through. You know, we'll see what they do with the retool of the 4 picks. But
is Scottie Pippen still over there?
Scottie Pippen is still there.
Him and Cole Anthony together is kind of interesting off the bench. They have like a weird scoring punch now, but they kind of contradict each other. But it's pretty interesting, honestly.
Yeah, I would love to see this team for 1, maybe 2 more years.
All right, let's move on. Next topic, hot topic around the NBA. Where is Kevin Durant gonna go? I mean, the Suns reportedly want the trade to happen before the draft so they can have those picks. KD is 37 years old. He averaged 27, before his Achilles. He's averaging 27 after Achilles. He is 37 years old. Rumored teams to be interested in him. The Timberwolves very heavily in the KD talks. Houston, the Spurs, the Heat. Where do you guys think overall KD should go, and where do you guys think the best fit for a championship is?
Yeah. Tess, you want to go first?
Man, you probably don't want me going first. I'm kind of done with KD. I think he's written his time.
Man, I'm glad you said that.
I'm with Tess on this one.
Yep.
Wow.
Agreed.
Jordy.
Here's the thing with KD, man. You remember Carmelo? A lot of people bashed Carmelo when he took all that money and went to New York. But the thing that I respect about Carmelo Anthony is you knew who he was. He was money hungry. That's it. He didn't want nothing else. He wanted that money. So he took it. KD wants to be he wants all that money, but he wants to be a championship player, but he don't want to be the guy on the championship team, but he wants to get paid like he's a championship guy. Like all that stuff is the reason I'm
tag without the
okay.
I'm kind of done with KD, but to not go down a drain with that, to stick to the question, where do I think he should go? I don't think he should go to the Spurs or the Rockets. I'll say that. I think they're young. I think that he disrupts the team. He disrupts the chemistry on both of those teams, because I think that KD's going to go somewhere, and instead of running that offense and being able to flow with the game and stuff like that, KD's going to be a ball stopper. He's going to get the ball, and it's going to be the KD show. And I don't think either one of those teams need that. I think out of those 3 teams, the 3 that are talking, I don't know if Minnesota will get him. I think he should just go to Miami personally, because there's nobody that can control the ball there. Miami, he can be the guy, but the expectations aren't going to be for him to win. But in the East, the East is so open that if KD has any kind of, time capsule of himself for half the season, he might end the season as a 4th to 6th seed and be able to play in the playoffs and do something with himself.
KD doesn't want to do that.
I know, but I wouldn't go if I was any young team. The only way I would take KD is I would lowball the hell out of the Suns.
Absolutely.
Here's my offer. I'm not bouncing. I don't care what Desmond Bane just got. We ain't there.
Right.
So here's what I got, and
Take it or leave it.
that's what I would do. I like I said,
Put your
I'm
cards
not
on
the
the table,
best,
take it, leave it.
yeah, I'm not the best KD believer at this point in his career.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that one.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
don't
that's the
understand why
the
that-
majority, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, usually with legends, I tend to have more patience, but his last two stints, I think I'm right there with you guys. I'm kind of over the KD saga, and this is probably one of the first times, like, as a franchise, I'm not even really sure how you can get excited for him coming to your team. Out of all those teams,
Wow.
like, yeah,
Whoa, that's crazy.
you know,
What has he done?
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think maybe in a macro view, Minnesota makes zero sense to me because that team defensively, I can't even like that was their identity was defense, and
I thought Minnesota
subtract
won.
Gobert, whatever. What?
What did you say for it?
Sorry to cut you off, but I thought Minnesota didn't want him.
He doesn't want Minnesota.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
he
was
doesn't
a
want Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota wants him, but Ant's not.
Okay.
Ant's
Okay.
not recruiting him either. So
Yeah,
that's
true.
kind of weird too, right?
His
Yeah,
Very.
yeah, that
the
is
best
weird.
team for
That's
him
your
to
identity,
play.
not gonna recruit him.
The best team for him to be played, for him to be in. Honestly, KD might be.
Dallas Wings.
I think he's got to go. Yeah.
Wow.
Dallas Wing. I think he should go back to any team in Texas. Houston's probably makes the most sense fit wise because they would best balance his skill set with Sengun in the post and Fred VanVleet, a championship point guard at the one. That probably fits a little better than the Spurs. Although the Spurs, I don't think RC Buford and Popovich think they're serious with Fox and KD both. I think those guys are both would be placeholders anyways. Like Fox got paid to be traded. Let's be real. But I think KD, I'm not even sure KD could make the best decision for himself at this point because everywhere he's been, he hasn't been happy. He hasn't been happy. So if he goes, he wants to win. He wants to win, and he wants to bare minimum be the number 2 guy. So if he goes to Miami, he'll be the number 1 guy, and they're not going to be very good, even though they're in the East, in my opinion. So that's out. Minnesota, he'll be number 2, but I think defensively they'll be so bad that Minnesota, for the first time in 2 years, is not going to make the conference finals. So then that just leaves the Texas teams. And like Tess said, these teams are young, innocent, doing it the right way teams. And if he was to go in there, he'll disrupt it. I don't think he'll be as disruptive as you think, but, you know, I'm not giving up a lot. I'm not giving up a whole bunch of assets. And if I'm the Suns, the only Jalen Green and Devin Booker, that makes no sense. So it really all goes to the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's real funny that the Knicks didn't they just shut the door on KD talks. You know, I think this is the guy that they need going into that. That postseason. You guys are 2 games away from the finals. Y'all say no, we don't want KD. Like, who are y'all to think that y'all don't need KD? I mean, personally, I would give up, Cat and maybe I don't know who else. I think I would package Cat away and go with the KD option. Even though Cat's a little younger, I would go with that KD option. But I think the best team for him to be on is probably Houston. Maybe give up. I mean, because they need a second option that can go down there and get buckets at any given time. And Rockets don't have that. Yep. They have Jabari Smith. And what's the other guy? The point guard, Jalen Green. Jalen Green has been giving us disappointment year after year after year. It's time to move on. Him and Jabari Smith needs to be packaged with a first round pick for KD. I need to see KD in a Houston Rockets uniform, and maybe right his career right there. So
I heard the Suns. So do the Suns? Are the Suns interested in Jalen Green? I don't think so.
I think that, but that's what I'm saying.
Them
Even
two
if they
lineups
not,
don't work together.
they could
So
package
You got
him
to get a
up.
third team. You had to get a third team in there, I would think.
For the
They
Rockets?
want to take
That's
Jalen Green,
so
put him to get
nasty.
KD.
Oh yeah,
That'd be the only.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
God
Either way,
bless
I
that
think
fucker,
he can be
man.
packaged
You got to
up.
go, Jay Green.
Jalen Green making like 30-something mil. You
Bulls.
can package him up for Jabari.
He's got a tradable contract.
Yeah,
He's got a tradable contract.
maybe a 13, like you said.
And the Rockets still got number 2 overall or number 3 overall pick, Bree Shepard, who didn't get no tick last year, who people thought if it was on any other team, he probably would have won Rookie of the Year. So like,
John,
they have talent for sure.
Let me ask you something, because I feel like you're the contract guy in this group. A team that I think that he could go, and I don't know if the numbers would make sense, is I think that he would be. Now, defensively, again, they would struggle, but I'm not going from a defensive standpoint. I'm going from a point standpoint, right? Could he go to Denver?
Holy shit! I have that pulled up right here, and that was what I was about to say. I was just about to. That's crazy you said that.
So, from an offensive standpoint, I mean, you've got the best passing center to ever play, and I'm going to say that right now. I don't care what anybody says, but
Bill Walton. No, I'm playing.
Stop it. But that's a team. I don't know if the contracts line up, and we haven't even seen nothing that Denver's remotely interested in, and KD's interested. KD wants his money. That's why he's choosing Texas teams. I don't care what anybody says. It's a tax-free state. And he said Miami because Florida's a tax-free state. So
no, I totally agree with you. That's my number 1 KD team by far, and it's not even close because he could go there. He's not the number 1 option. You kind of just blend in. And then Michael Porter Jr., he's making $35 million. He'll make $40 million next year. You package that up, maybe some salary fillers like you got Zeke Naji owed $10 million. He's not in the rotation. Add like Julian Strawther, and then the first round pick from last year, Deron Holmes or something like that. And then here you go, like Phoenix. You get Michael Porter Jr., you get a young center, Deron Holmes, who everybody loved coming out last year. And then you just be happy with that. But from Denver's standpoint, I mean, Jokic will never be this all-time rim protector, but he does enough, right? And then so you have his passing ability. Instead of skipping that corner, instead of MPJ, it's Kevin freaking Durant. Oh, by the way, in the dunker spot is Aaron Gordon. Oh, by the way, Jamal Murray and Jokic still have the pick and roll. Like from a fit standpoint, that in my opinion, that's the best. That would immediately, in my opinion,
that was great. Yeah,
sounds like man got to be.
They would have, in my opinion, they would be the favorite over the Thunder immediately. I just think because Jokic took him to 7, and Jamal Murray, you know, he's hit and miss. Michael Porter Jr. had one shoulder. Aaron Gordon had one Achilles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'd give up Michael Porter Jr. because with Denver, Denver's not looking to rebuild. They have the best player in the world. What they need with picks and anything like that. So you maximize Jokic now, and for KD, like for KD, he doesn't have to be the leader. He doesn't have to be everything we crucify KD for. He doesn't have to be in Denver. He could just play basketball, which is what he wants to do.
Look,
so
Denver gonna be out there looking like NBA Live players.
What's that?
It's gonna be a starting 5, and then it's gonna be Brown on the bench.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's what that team gonna look like.
That bench is gonna be terrible. But I like the move. That's a great idea. I like that.
Their bench is already terrible.
That's a great idea, man.
You want to know why the Nuggets haven't been reported in probably anything? It's because they still don't have a GM. I think since they fired.
They just fired the assistant GM yesterday.
Yeah, so they're even more unprepared to make decisions.
That's crazy.
In June, so that's probably why. And honestly, yeah, I forgot we were talking about trading Michael Porter Jr. for doing a flip for somebody. Maybe it was Cat actually. But he would fit great offensively. I think the defense just is what it is at this point. It's not like they were playing defense last year, anyways.
But I don't think KD's a negative on defense either, though. Like if you watch them over the past couple years, I mean, he's not like lockdown, but he's still like protecting the rim. He's a decent
regardless.
He's still 7 feet tall.
I think he's so long.
He's serviceable. He's serviceable.
Yeah.
And then next to Aaron Gordon, I mean, Aaron Gordon is the rim protector on the team. It's not.
He can't be worse than Michael Porter Jr. I'll tell you.
Right.
So much hate on Michael Porter. Calm down.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's a guy. You want to talk about players that haven't added anything since they've been to the league. He's definitely one from what I thought he was going to be.
MPJ?
MPJ, yeah.
Wow.
In the KD archetype, you think he could learn to dribble a basketball to run one pick and roll. Just run one pick and roll.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be great theater that Kevin Durant is now going to replace his former brother, Russell Westbrook, if that was to happen. And this will be the best player that Jokic has ever played with from a stat perspective.
It'll be his first All-Star he's played.
I mean,
first All-Star too.
Yeah. Him, Harden, and Westbrook could all go to Washington and just redo this thing. They're all free agents. They can all
make it all right.
Yeah,
make it right.
He need to go back home anyway. That's where he really
KD should let his agent decide where he go. He should just go back home. Just go back home to Washington.
he should have been back home.
Selfishly, I want him out the West Coast though. I want him out the
back home.
Something that I did disagree with you, Ashton, is you said no team should be excited to get Kevin Durant anymore, and I would disagree. I think if the Lakers could get him free or cheap, you would be excited. I think if I went to Nathaniel and said, "Hey, Milwaukee just got him for a second-round pick," he'd be excited, right? So I think the excitement's still there with KD. I just think now, as we all agreed, the course has been ran. He's 37. He's not worth what the Suns are probably asking behind closed doors, right? Because we don't know that, and we see people like Desmond Bane go for 4 picks. We saw Rudy Gobert that year go for 4. And then I forgot who else was getting traded that year, but they were like, oh, well, this guy's got to be worth, much more than that. And I just don't think.
I mean, name anybody. Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray, Mikal Bridges.
Hey, another thing about KD, though. He ended up not wanting to go to Washington and playing with Bill, ended up playing with Bill anyway. Should have went there again.
Great point. Yeah.
John Wall wasn't John Wall there at the time still?
Yeah.
Like,
and he was the Paul Pierce replacement.
Now you play him now. Now you want to get away from him. Like,
was the reason KD didn't want to go back home was because he was afraid of what his off court behavior was going to be as a young man? Maybe as a grandpa, he can go back there and he'll be fine with the off court behavior.
When he was leaving from Golden State, or
maybe even before goes, I can't remember. But when he was deciding, and Washington was an option when they had John Wall and Bill, I could have sworn I heard him say something like,
that's the other team I still think he's dumb for not having interest in is going back with Steph and running it back.
Absolutely.
I don't.
If you want to talk about just pure winning, I mean, the Warriors was the dream fit for him.
I don't get KD. I'm telling you, it's like he doesn't.
That's the best he's been in his career.
He let Draymond scare him off.
That was Bron in Miami. That was his Bron in Miami right there.
Because Draymond threw that 2-piece in a biscuit in practice, and KD was like, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that.
The door was this close, and after you saw what he did the pool, it was all the way close.
Yeah, he said, I'm done.
He's like, no, I'm done. I can't handle it.
That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, y'all got any last
Bron in Miami right there, though. That was nice.
Yeah. Honestly, if we can trade Alex Len for Kevin Durant, you're right. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Stop it.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, Tess, you kind of hit on it already, but you did bring up the Bucks, and we have a Bucks guru fanatic in here. So, what are we talking about here? We have Giannis on we have the Bucks.
Why you shaking
what's going on? Like, I think we all in here, we're big Giannis fans. We love Giannis. I'm a fan of Milwaukee after meeting all you guys. It's just they're in a situation now. They just in a situation now. It's like, what are we doing? Like, because if you're looking at it from two standpoints, it's like, well, we could keep Giannis and just have this Giannis, for life. But
you done lost Lane.
They gonna come back. They gonna come back.
We're not
He would have got some jerseys on.
Nathaniel, are those already on the discount racks? Because he getting moved?
Oh! Get them while they're hot.
Get
Oh,
the
I put it
Put
back.
my head together.
What we
I heard
think,
everything.
like,
I heard everything.
what, like, as the resident Bucks fan in here, like, what's the right move, and then what's the move that you anticipate that's going on? Or if
The
it's
right
both.
move is the move that Giannis wants, and the move that Giannis wants is to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks. But overall, I think the right move was to be to ask Giannis, sit him down, and say, "Hey, what do you want to do with us? Do you want to move on? Do we need to move you on, or whatever? Do we need to build more pieces around you?" And I think the right move is to keep him here. I mean, we ship him off and then we rebuild, and then we're back in the dirt pool again. So I think we need to keep him here, rebuild. I mean, Dame should be back. What, March or April? He had the what do you want to call it? Yeah, the Achilles surgery late in the season. So I mean, I think we'll be pretty good. You know, sign KPJ back, sign our assets back, AJ Green. Let Brook Lopez go. He's got to go. Who else? Gary
Trent, he's a free
Trent.
agent.
Sign him back. We need all of our same role players. Bring them back. You know, maybe sign a piece here and there.
What about Prince?
Don't get me started. I mean, we're signing him back. I mean, he was great up until the playoffs. I don't know what that was, but I mean, honestly, I would sign him back. There's not too many other pretty options in the free market, but honestly, I think there is no other place better for Giannis Antetokounmpo but to stay with the Bucks. If he leaves, think about it. If he leaves again, he has to rebuild his legacy. Now he's fighting for a ring, and then like everybody else said, the grass is not greener on the other side. You see what happened with KD. KD went to New York, and then he went to, the Phoenix. And what has happened? You haven't got out the second round, and now you're chasing this ring that whatever show up. So I mean, I think Giannis needs to stay put. There's no point in leaving. Build your legacy here in Milwaukee, and leave it at that.
Back to what you guys were saying with the East, like the East is open. Like,
yeah,
not saying that they're going to win the championship, but I could see them a 50-win team next year in the East. Like, I think that's doable.
You said how many wins?
We'll see. 50. They could. I believe in Giannis. I think Giannis is that
get
good.
the right pieces and Brook Lopez is gone. I think there's a shot.
50%? You talking about?
50 wins.
They're going to go
45, 50 wins.
50%.
Do you have a free agent that you would prefer them to target? Is there somebody you have in mind?
I looked at the free agent list every day. There's nobody on that list that
I was gonna say
that look pretty good. I mean, pull up the list if you want to right now. They all look seasonably they're garbage. I gotta go back. I gotta take a look at it.
Would a James Harden change the trajectory of that team this year? No.
The Bucks' trajectory for the future, they need to get younger. The past 2-3 years, we have been getting outran by teams that are younger than us. Brook Lopez, he has to go. We've been getting outran.
But Doc has to play them guys, though.
Huh?
They got young guys, but Doc don't play them.
Well, they playing, but we just too old and slow. Bobby Porter looked like my dad running up the court.
I understand that.
It's not going to work. We're too old. We were the oldest team in the league last year. We have to get
the free agent. Can you guys see the free agent list?
Pull it up. It's garbage.
Oh, okay. This is dope. Okay.
John, you might want to try free agent rankings.
I think you need to surround Giannis around nice shooters. I think Luke Kennard was on that list. Luke Kennard is, a decent prospect we could pick up. He needs to be surrounded by shooters.
Bring back the president.
Who's that?
Malcolm Brogdon.
He's too old. Old as hell. What is it? 33?
Give my boy Malcolm back. No, Duncan Robinson.
Malcolm Brogdon hated Milwaukee when he was here. He doesn't want to be here.
Need to go get Duncan.
He hated Milwaukee. He don't want to be here.
Duncan Robinson.
He hated Milwaukee?
Yeah, he said it was the most segregated city in the world. He's kind of right, but he doesn't like Milwaukee.
Duncan Robinson.
He definitely hated Milwaukee.
Duncan Robinson. Okay, that'll be good. Yeah, I can see that.
If only you guys like kept Dante DiVincenzo,
catch and shoot bucket,
the Italian style.
I know, right?
You guys can get D'Lo.
In hindsight,
you know who y'all should get?
I can. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I think Duncan Robinson.
Y'all should go after Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome.
Ty Jerome. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Ty Jerome. Naz Reid isn't leaving Minnesota.
I was more so looking for free agents
Schroeder
like,
be a
oh yeah,
good.
this is the
Schroeder be a
guy.
good look.
Who's that?
Schroeder.
We not worried about that. That ain't
I
too
know.
much. We get that from Ryan Rollins on the back end. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
from
you
a
know,
point guard perspective, there's not too many
Good
people.
solid PG though.
Exactly. You know, and
Wow, Bruce Brown is considered a point guard. That's crazy.
yeah.
Or this is just
Is it?
guards.
Yeah.
These are just
Oh,
guards.
guard. Okay.
I don't know why I always thought he was like 6'8" when he was on the Nets for some odd reason.
He
No,
played
I'm
huge.
gonna be honest with you, Nathaniel. This list is
Dog water, right?
Not mid.
well, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Mine was gonna be a bleeped out word because I
Yeah, there's nothing to take from this list at all. I looked at
But-
the straight list on the Often Daily, so it's,
I don't think that you have to go young because Giannis is in that middle part of his career, right? He's what, 29? Correct?
Yep.
29? Yeah. So you know, and I know that like some of the higher free agents, some of these people are going to re-sign with their team, right? But
yeah,
I think you've got to have a legit scorer that can help Giannis. If Giannis can focus on stabilizing the defensive side of the court, I think you find some offense somewhere else. And because I think that's what we saw this year is Giannis literally had to do everything. He had to score. If he didn't score, they were losing. But if he didn't have defensive stops or contribute to the off-ball defensive stops, they were giving up buckets.
Yeah.
So, there's Bol. That's a championship player. Just needs the minutes. But
oh Lord, another
Bobo
maker in the making. We ain't got time for that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that there's got to be a bigger splash for Milwaukee. And also that the mindset with that is also that I do not think Dame will come back and be Dame. I don't think Dame was Dame already with Milwaukee, that the old Portland Dame that everybody
for sure.
Right. So now with an Achilles and coming back, I do not see him being anything other than a fragile shell of himself because of his age. His body structure is already so small compared to the NBA, so banging around. He relied so much on quickness and being able to get those shots off. You know, that's to me the bigger issue with Milwaukee is my mind as a GM would be, how can I get out of the Dame contract as soon as possible? I can really try to maximize Giannis's time with Milwaukee.
They should have did that before he got hurt, though. You know, honestly.
I think that was their plan going into this offseason. They were losing anyway. That was the plan, but unforeseen circumstances took place and he got hurt. So,
but nobody's going to trade for a 30. I don't know how old he is. Like 30,
38 when he come back. He was 38 when he come back.
Dame is 34.
34. Like that's rough.
But yeah, I think KPJ did an outstanding job. Once we got him for a bag of chips with Beauchamp. So after he came back and we got him, I think he was outstanding. And I think if we resign him back,
contract for this next year too.
Yep, yeah. Hopefully we resign him back, give him whatever he wants, and we need him back expeditiously for sure.
Your guys' free agents going into this summer. You got Sims.
Yep.
You got Gary Trent, Prince. Damn. Y'all paying Patrick Beverly till 2029?
Yep. Fleeced. And don't forget about the other two coaches.
And Jeff Teague, and Myers Leonard, and Gordon Dragic.
Yep.
I don't think you guys are paying Buden. I don't think you guys are paying Budenholzer because he got signed to the Phoenix. And then he got fired again. So
man, what a rough life as a professional coach to get fired and still get paid, right?
Tom Thibodeau,
best job in America.
4 years, $30 million.
You got Monty Williams from Detroit.
Man, what?
Cliff Kingsbury in the NFL.
You ain't heard his name yet. You ain't heard his name since he's been fired.
I will die on the hill that Monty Williams signed the biggest contract in coaching history and sabotaged the Pistons to get fired. I will literally die on that hill. Literally.
I wouldn't put it past him because J.B. Bickerstaff, who I love as a coach, but he tripled their wins. I don't know if they was triple the win than what they was, but no, yeah, Giannis is interesting, man. I mean, I feel like from the Bucks standpoint, like I feel like they can't, like, you never trade a player like Giannis unless you ask them. Like, don't
never.
even hate it. Like, you never bring it up or anything like that. You can ask him, what do you want to do? And then try to, do what he wants to do. But I think also in that conversation, like we talked about earlier, like, I think it's time for him to, like, close at center. He doesn't have to play all, 48 minutes at center, but I think spacing him with more shooting and letting him being the sole rim protector and, like, slasher, I think could go a long way as well.
I agree.
What on the flip side of this, right? We've all agreed that the Bucks should keep Giannis. So I'm gonna put this question back onto Mr. Lay over here. What package would you think, now that Desmond Bane just went for 4 first-rounders, would Giannis go for? Especially if they were gearing up to trade him now within, let's say, the next 2 weeks. How hot the Desmond Bane trade was already with 4 first-round picks. What does Giannis get back if they were decided, hey, we're going to just start over? Is there a package that you would be like, okay, I'll still wear his jersey, but I'm good with the trade?
I don't see any package that's sustainable that I would be okay with. I need 10 picks, your left kidney, and your mom's Ferrari. There's not a package in the world that I will probably be okay with in this scenario. I don't see it.
Yeah,
he just went for 4 first-round picks, and Giannis is gonna go for what, 5? Yeah, right. We're gonna need more than that. I don't see it. So,
Ashton.
Well, hopefully it will be the quality of the picks. Honestly,
or I would just say the players that come back. I mean, I still think it could be like 5 to 6 picks, but I think it's like you need like 2 to 4 fucking good young pieces, like an Amin Thompson, like, you know what I mean, something like that.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be the GM. I wouldn't be the GM to trade him anyways, but it's not even for basketball reasons. Well, I'd say it is for basketball reasons, but it's also for what he's done for the franchise in the city.
Yeah.
But if I'm like Danny Ainge, let's say, I probably would look to trade him to a team like, there's not a lot of team with cap space, but I'd probably look to trade him to a team like Utah or the Nets for their best player, maybe a tertiary player, plus all their picks. But teams like that aren't going to do that for a team like Giannis because they think, like the Nets, for example, if I'm the Nets, I'm not going to offer a package for Giannis. I'm going to maybe get a Nasri this season, maybe trade up, get a great young player, and then I'll sign Giannis next season. I'll say, hey, Giannis, we got Nasri, we got Cam Johnson, we got this. Leave Milwaukee for this. I'm not going to give up that package for Giannis. So that's probably another reason why, I don't know, maybe there hasn't been that many much steam. And honestly, so if I'm now John Horst and I'm operating from the vantage point that I'm keeping Giannis, I definitely well, with Doc Rivers is, you're not going to get much different from Doc Rivers. So I'm probably, maybe I can trade a player for like a second pick to get some more youth in this draft. I would think long and hard about changing the nature of my starting lineup. I'm not really sure what you can do with Lopez's deal. Maybe you can sign him, trade him somewhere.
He's going to be gone. No, he's done. He's a free agent. He's done after this year. I don't think Milwaukee's going to sign him back.
He made a lot of money. So if he wants anything near that, I think most teams he would want to go to would he need the Bucks to sign and trade him. I think because teams just don't have cap space in today's NBA. So yeah, I agree. He's gone. So then you're like, all right, maybe I got to start Bobby Portis in his position. And then, I mean, KPJ, you liked KPJ. I think he can still be a knucklehead, but he had.
I don't care what he do.
He turned it around a little bit, huh?
I don't care what he do off the court, as long as he balling like how he did. I don't care what he did.
You get him a training camp. You get him a training camp with. I mean, it's still nasty work to have him with the ball in his hands. I mean, look, honestly, yeah, I think you should re-sign Gary Trent. He was your second leading scorer. He was your second.
Yep.
He was your second leading scorer in the playoffs. Giannis averaged 33 and 15, and
he lost in 5.
And honestly, if it wasn't for the one game, if it wasn't for that one comeback by the Pacers, y'all would have got at least 2 wins. But Gary Trent was your second leading scorer.
Yep.
After some hot shooting, then you got KPJ, Kevin Porter. I mean,
yep.
Starting lineup will be Giannis, Portis, Kuzma, KPJ, and oh man,
yeah. But the answer is Matt's question.
I think you should start Andre Jackson.
Yeah, but the answer is questions. I don't think there's any package. Like I've seen all the projected trade packages that was rumored up a couple weeks ago, and they all look garbage. I haven't seen one that actually made sense. I'll say, you know what? Okay, I'll consider it.
Right.
Wait, are you guys still paying Jeff Teague $520 podcaster? No way.
Yeah.
I see Gallinari still getting paid. Gee, what is going on?
Yeah, a lot of those
NBA champions.
Most of you paying everybody, man. I see what that. I see. Okay.
Wait,
Gallinari still getting paid. That's a problem.
I think with Milwaukee, I think I'm on. You could convince me on both sides of the fence if I was the GM of Milwaukee. I think that you could easily convince me to say the East could be weak. Not so much weak, just nobody stands out as the dominant force. Let's go add a free agent or two that we've talked about. We can instantly jump up. You know, I can stand on a wish saying Dame's going to come back and easily contribute, 15 to 19 points a game. It's going to be the same Dame or somewhat of him. We'll be fine. Or you can convince me the other way that, like, now is the time to start a rebuild in the East because you're not going to go out and find somebody that's going to contribute. And could we compete? Yes, we can compete. Can we compete for a championship? No, you cannot compete for a championship right now. And get the most for your team, start that rebuild factory. And right now, like I said, when you have somebody like Gobert or you have, Desmond Bane that goes for 4 first-round picks, you can essentially, with Giannis being a top 3 player in the NBA, you can say, I want everything. And there's no negotiation. You want this guy on your team and your franchise and your city, I want everything from the 1 or 2 or 3 teams that have to be involved to get this trade.
Yep.
So I think
if you're Giannis and you look at it, you're like, who am I playing with now?
Yeah. And I think with Giannis, that's something that, Giannis is rare in the fact of, Dirk stayed with his franchise forever. Tim Duncan stayed with his franchise forever. Kobe, while drafted for the Kings, stayed with his franchise forever because he was a Laker. So is Giannis that guy? I think he could be, but I think the question that John just said, I think Giannis is probably like, hey, there's some trade talks. Who am I playing with? Because I'm ready to go win. I'm in the peak. I'm 29 years old. A couple of years from now, I'm going to start trending downwards, right? So I think if I was the GM of Milwaukee, don't unfriend me on PlayStation, Nathaniel, but I think I would definitely look at trying to get a premium package behind closed doors. And I'm talking, like I said, I want all the smoke for him. And if I don't get it, cool. I'm very happy to keep Giannis because I think we can easily be a 2 through 5 seed in the East with him alone.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you can compete with Giannis as a championship unless you go add another high caliber all-star player. And that's hard to do when you got $53 million recovering from an Achilles injury or whatever Dame's getting paid. So.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. I just feel like as a Bucks fan, if I'm letting it go Giannis, I want the house.
Yeah.
I want everything. Not 4 first-round picks, even though that's okay. We can't draft for damn anyway, so picks are kind of useless to me in that sense. So I feel like we want that. Maybe Sengun. I think that was the package I looked at. That was
Austin Reeves. That's your next player to build
Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves in the first.
Austin Reeves in the first.
Rui Reeves, you can have it all.
I think I watched something, and they said that the cap wouldn't even work for him to go to the Lakers anyway.
They would have to get rid of DFA and Miami.
Yeah, that wouldn't even work. The only teams that actually worked were the Spurs, Knicks, and I forgot the other one. I think those were the only teams that actually could work.
Dallas.
Realistically.
All the Texas teams.
Down to the dollar.
Like I said.
I mean, Thunder, too. I mean,
the Thunder. Yeah,
you want Chet? You want Chet, Hartenstein? You want Aaron Wiggins? You want Casey Wallace?
Now we can. Yeah, now we talking.
You know what I mean? But if you're OKC, you're like, why am I giving up all this? They're all minimum deals. Like,
yeah. So
I wouldn't take Chet over Austin Reeves. Different conversation. But
you would or you wouldn't?
No,
I absolutely would not. I think Austin Reeves has proven over and over that he.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
That's interesting because I would have Chet personally over Reeves. But.
Now that could be a 3-team trade, and sure.
Ashton, calm down. Hearing all that, get out of here with that.
I love when a Celtic fan indirectly wants to, help a Laker fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But look,
the Bucks get Brad
for the Bucks. The Bucks, those are the only options you can look at. Yeah, all those young package, all those teams with young packages that would make sense. That would put them back to a situation like where the Nets are in. It will give them cap space and give them some picks. I mean, because the Bucks don't control their own pick fully for the next 6 years until 2031.
Yep.
So it's not like we
can't pick anyway. Yeah. Whatever. We suck at drafting. Our last gem in the draft was Malcolm Brogdon or Dante DiVincenzo. Other than that was 10 years ago. So other than that, what are we doing?
Honestly, yeah. Who have we been drafting?
We haven't been drafted anybody.
You guys keep trading him though. You guys keep trading him though. That's why.
I mean, they hit somewhat their peak in the year we traded them.
Lakers of the East, baby. Lakers of the East.
It is what it is. I kind of thought they were going to keep him, but he ended up breaking his foot during the finals. So I guess they just won that next year. So.
Yeah. I mean, AJ Johnson is a guy that I think might work out. Where's Marshawn Beauchamp? Where is he?
He's a Knick. He got bought out.
He's a Knick.
I think he got cut, didn't he?
Or he might have got cut by the Knicks, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he got signed. He got cut. I see.
They say he's making TikTok.
Yeah, we done. Sorry, we got him for a bag of chips. We got him. We got KP.
Bucks them a disservice, man. They ain't really playing like that. He really got a.
Wait a minute.
He didn't really have any spikes in his game to where
he didn't get no chance, man.
He did. He had some chances. He had
not
some
enough chances.
You guys drafted Kevin Porter. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and we ended up getting him back. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think we'll still be in the top 5 in the East. I don't think the Bucks are a team that we should be counted out. Like Tony Stark said, we have a Hulk and they don't. We have Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
Y'all don't. We have the most dominant player in the league, so I don't think there's any confusion about that.
The only problem is that there's some Thanoses in the league. So your Hulk
definitely some Infinity Stones over there.
Ain't no damn Thanos is in the league. But yeah, man, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're fine in the East.
Yeah, I gotta beat the Pacers now first. No, just kidding.
Yeah. We gotta get past them. Like I said, we need a whole restructure of our roster, sign some.
We'll have
some notable free agents. Hopefully, we can get rid of Kuzma. Maybe get Cam Johnson, like I said in that trade earlier. But maybe it's not happening.
If y'all can get rid of Kuzma's contract, I think he's a negative value right now. I think that'd be huge.
I mean, it's a descending contract too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there any Pelicans juice here? Any Pelicans juice?
Like, what are you giving up though?
Yeah, we don't really have that many assets.
Oh my god,
we don't have any assets. If I'm being honest,
this is such a sad situation.
Other than Kuzma.
Wow.
Because I'm with you. Because I think what was so underrated about Giannis last season was oh my god, he's this awesome playmaker the last half of the season. And it's could you imagine instead of just having a point guard, you just have a bunch of 3-and-D players around him that can just shoot. He just play makes. Imagine you have a Jalen Suggs, a Herb Jones, a Trey Murphy, Giannis. Yep. That's interesting. Well, not just players like that. Because there was a point he was averaging 10 plus assists for 8 straight games. Yeah, he's a proven playmaker. Yep. What do you think, OG? What do you think? What do you think the Bucks should do?
Lord.
No, I'm joking.
Huh?
No, they honestly, I don't really see them. They don't do much, man. They had no picks. I mean, no one's interested coming to Milwaukee. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't really see no. He's stuck in that LeBron cash stage where no one wants to come, to Cleveland. He's stuck in that, and they did some bad trades. They should have got rid of a few people before their time expired, and now it's too late, and they're stuck in purgatory. So
Yeah.
I don't know what they can do. They don't really have no appealing asset they can trade to me, and I just don't see them. I see them still. They'll still be fifth seed. I can see them doing that. Giannis can give them to the fifth seed, but probably 40-some wins somewhere
So,
in there.
like,
But I don't really see them doing too much outside that. They're not gonna make too much of a noise.
So, like, to play devil's advocate, like, if you're Giannis and he does request a trade, where's he looking at? Like, there's no way he's
Somewhere he
looking
has a
at any
home at,
West
New
Coast
York.
Stay
team.
in the East.
He's
Yeah,
staying.
there's no way
He's
he's
going
looking
Texas.
at any West
He's
Coast
going.
team.
I think he's
So,
going
like, is it
Texas.
like teams like New
Stay in the
York?
East.
Like, why would Miami? He wouldn't want Miami because you got to give up like Hero or Bam. He probably want to play with them.
New York is the only place that makes sense.
Like Forrest said before, Giannis is cheap. He wants a tax-free state. I think he's going somewhere in Texas, no doubt.
So not Boston?
No, no, I don't think so.
That's
But
funny.
that'd be a package. Like, I mean, Jaylen Brown, that'd be your package.
Yeah,
4 first. I mean, that's the type of
Yeah, I
caliber
mean,
player.
I don't think anything matches.
Jalen. Boston, I mean,
I'll
that's
tell
not a
you
bad
this.
idea, though.
If Boston is ahead of Milwaukee going into the middle of next year, you trade Giannis.
So that's
I'm
a good
serious.
point.
If the Celtics are beating Milwaukee in the standings going into the trade deadline next year, I think that's your cue that you have to from Giannis and Milwaukee. Like, this ain't working. We've got a broken Jason Tatum team with Boston.
But no,
we got Jaylen Brown with a bunch of new players coming in because we know KP's going to be out. We know Al Horford's going to be out. You trade him. I think that
I don't see Boston being above Milwaukee.
Yeah, but like look at that from
But
this
Boston
standpoint.
got a
Giannis
nice
doesn't want to
backfield.
leave now, right? Like, Giannis doesn't want to leave now. He starts the season. Let's say they 10 and 21. Then what? Does his mindset change? Does he still want to be there?
Even if he leaves,
you might as
go ahead, Kratos. Sorry.
You might as well trade Giannis now because you guys are in the Central Division with the Cavs, the Pacers, the Pistons, and Dre Sav's Chicago Bulls. Yeah, bro.
Dang.
That is a crazy division.
But like I was saying earlier, the grass is not green on the other side. Let's say Giannis, let's say Giannis requests a trade, right? And he goes to Miami. I don't think Giannis has this friendly figure in the league that players that want to come play with him anyway. Like, who's coming to play with him in Miami if he says, I'm going to Miami?
Well, we've seen.
I don't even think
before.
I don't know what friends Giannis has in the league.
But I'm saying, like, let's say Miami does trade for KD this summer. What's them stopping from, like, okay, now we could give up Bam and Hero for Giannis?
Oh God, 38-year-old KD.
I'm saying they get KD. No, they get KD. They get KD with the Aaron or the Andrew Wiggins, the Duncan Robinson package.
No, man.
And then
yeah, look, honestly, I'm
like
not
Hero for Bam.
Joe, I was with you on Denver and KD. I ain't with you on this.
If I'm Giannis, I'm not worried about attracting guys to a team that I'm going to request a trade to. Like, if he goes to a team like Miami, who I think he honestly, culture-wise, would be a good fit, I'm just like, Pat Riley, the drop in the range tactic didn't work for Butler to stay there.
And then here's the thing.
I want him to go play with Curry.
If Giannis requests a trade, don't forget, you have to bring the Milwaukee Bucks wherever he goes. So if he goes to Houston or whatever, you have to surround that 3-and-D type of play style around him his whole career, honestly, because he can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? He can only drive and, dish shot. This is you have to surround a team around him, which is with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Wherever he goes, he needs somebody that he could run pick and roll with, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. He needs the same type of play style with. You can't just, put him on the Lakers and expect it's going to be a different type of play style. He has the same Milwaukee Bucks play style that's been given. So
sounds like somebody else on the
money. I would want Luka and Giannis pick and roll.
But look,
remember this conversation we're having that Giannis is still being a nice guy. Because the moment he flips that and he's like Josh said, hey, we won 10 out of 30 games.
No.
I'm putting some pressure on y'all to either fix this roster or shit me out.
Yeah.
That once that goes public, trade value starts to bleed down.
Yeah.
So Milwaukee has to decide if the juice is worth the squeeze with Giannis, and
Yeah.
that's a tough place because I wouldn't trade Giannis either. I'm with you if I was a Bucks fan, but I'm not a Bucks fan, and I like chaos in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If he wants to leave, he can. He owes us nothing. He got us a chip, and he has some great accolades on his shoulder. He owes us nothing. If you requested a trade tomorrow, I'll be a little like, oh man, a little sad about it. But
I'll put it
okay.
this way:
He doesn't owe us anything.
Yeah, for the city of Milwaukee as a GM and an owner, I wouldn't trade him. But if these are just names on a sheet of paper, it's the best move to make.
Yeah,
to trade him. Honestly,
if he stays or leave, he's having a statue outside of Fiserv Forum regardless. So
yeah. And wherever he goes, he's going to have to adjust his play style anyways. I mean, I honestly I think there's still juice on the table for Dame. I think we've been talking about this way too long as a Lakers fan. But anyways, there's still juice. Oh, there's still juice on the table between Dame and Giannis. There's synergy left on the table between these guys.
Go play your piano and stop it. There ain't no synergy left.
There's some synergy left, but yeah, like I said, I think maybe we've been overdrafted our time. We'll talk about it another time. But I think there's definitely some synergy left. Let's put that in the notes. We'll talk about that next time. I'll let you take over, John.
Yeah, no, we good. So just to wrap it up, because per Kratos' request, big Laker chat guy, Laker chat. We want to talk about the Lakers sale the franchise today for
double the Celtics to no one's surprise. Double.
After being evaluated by Forbes as the 7th most valued franchise in the league a couple months ago, they sell for more than $4 million. And the Boston Celtics did this past summer. Just kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest with you. If this was the old CBA, I'd probably be a lot more excited as a Lakers fan because I feel like being a homegrown organization, they get cheap a lot of the time, and it's probably hurt us in the butt more times than not. But now that the CBA is the way it is, you just can't pay to win. So it's kind of like bittersweet now. I mean, from like a coaching aspect, like we'll never lose out on a coach because of money. Like I remember they didn't get Ty Lue, they didn't get Monty Williams because of money. So they settled with Frank Vogel. So now it's kind of interesting to see where they go from here because Jeannie still has her role. It's guaranteed until it's not. And then Rob Pelinka just got hired or promoted to president of basketball operations back in March after you did the Luka trade. So as the resident Laker fans, Ford and Kratos, I mean, there's no like significant impact on here. But
like
you guys' thoughts on it?
I like it, man. It's good. It's about time we got somebody that can spend some damn money because Jeannie was tight ass. So it's about time. Yeah. I'll take what we can get. Some new energy, some new blood. He got a bunch of great other business. He did great with Dodgers, so I think it's a win-win. So.
What about you, Kratos?
The main thing this just speaks to is how valuable sports franchises have become in the past 15 to 20 years, and how expensive they are. I can't believe this guy's buying the Lakers by himself as a majority owner, because $10 billion is a lot of money, no matter how much you have, and it's getting to the point that you need groups to buy in. But look, this is this is great. This is great. Hopefully that means he's a guy that will be willing to, I don't know. Maybe he'll re-sign Luka to a max. We'll survive this CBA. Maybe there'll be some rollbacks, and then having an owner that will willing to spend money might mean something. Because no matter how much money you make, being in the second apron is not sustainable or feasible. So to your point, the old CBA would have been better. But bare minimum, I'm just glad we got the Buss family out, honestly. Yeah.
Lay,
Yeah.
Matt.
Y'all know who Steve Ballmer is? Yeah.
I
How
know.
many championships has that man brought home?
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the brand as the Lakers either.
No,
I do not think that
you don't have the
this.
same brand. Don't compare no Clippers to the Lakers brand. Don't
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't
I'm
do
just
Yeah.
telling you this.
Don't do that.
Y'all are right. I'm not saying that. Angel Reese, put your arms down. I'm just saying. I don't think this increases the potential the Lakers have to win the championship. I don't think this changes anything on the court issues. I think this is just a massive publicity, not stunt, but another thing to put the Lakers in the news, right? I mean, that's a lot of money, no matter what you say. I mean, it's massive money. It's more than the Celtics. I get it. Celebrate that, enjoy that, but
$4 million more.
As it stands now, the Lakers roll to the beat of LeBron James, and until that's done, that's all that will matter. Whether he helps them or hurts them, that's an argument you can make, but that's the beat of the drum the Lakers roll to. We'll see. What I'm excited for, again, I'm not a big Lakers fan, being a Celtics fan, but what I'm excited for, and sad because when LeBron leaves, it's sadness for the league. But I'm excited to see the future of what the Lakers actually do with Luka and with Austin Reeves and who else. How do they build that franchise and keep it winning, right? Because that's the last thing you want to do is go from being
You'll get Giannis
to being the bottom. And I don't think they will because Curry is on his way out. He's on his last couple of years. The Clippers are the Clippers. The Kings are the Kings. So I'm excited for the future of the Lakers, but sad because when LeBron leaves. But the $10 billion, it don't mean nothing to me. So
just a lot of money. That's
a lot of money. That's right.
So this is where it's really going to have the impact.
Lay hasn't said anything. Excuse me.
No, I think Tess hit the nail on the hammer with this one, or a hammer on a nail. I totally agree. I don't think the $10 billion standpoint, it doesn't really move mountains or shake any trees for me. I mean, like he said, I think the Lakers franchise still rests in LeBron's hands until he leaves. It's not going to go anywhere from there. So, I mean, I think this is great, though. And honestly, I'm trying to figure out, like, that is a crazy, is this an overpay? Like, what, Jeannie Buss paid, like, what, $90 million back in the day, and now it was $10 billion? Like, holy crap, that's some crazy inflation. But I don't know, man.
Overpay?
Huh?
Did you just say overpay?
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest franchises in America.
The Bucks sold for $3 billion, man. That was a little bit on.
I'm just thinking of inflation. Like, damn.
The Lakers sold for more than the Celtics and Bucks combined after winning championships.
Well, I know I'm jumping in. I apologize, but to Ford and Lay's point about that is when you think about $10 billion, right? How long does it take? And that's something, not calling shade to any of y'all because I'm in y'all's boat. How long does it take to start having a return on interest? What is your ROI on spending $10 billion between, whatever you want to say, advertising, tickets, jersey sales, anything you're couping value back? What is your return on that? Because it ain't like it's like, well, give me 2 years and I've got my money back. That's got to be something like years in, down the line when you're like, okay, my $10 billion, because you can't turn around and sell the Lakers for $25 billion next year. Like this is a long hold, and it's crazy to me. $10 billion. I mean, props to the Lakers.
Equity right there.
Yeah, props to the Lakers, but man, holy smokes! Like, what is the next team going to sell for? That is a top team, right? And not just the Lakers, all sports. What would the Cowboys sell for? The Yankees, these premier teams. Ja, that's your alley right there. What do these premier teams sell for?
Yep.
So,
I mean, from the NBA, from an NBA peer standpoint, I think it's like 10. Like Lay's not crazy saying it's an overpay because over the next couple years, I don't know how long it'll be 2 to 4, but they're expecting expansion. So now, when the expansion teams come in, each team will increase in value from that standpoint. So I mean, he bought it for $10 billion. But where teams like, the Kings, the Bulls, they'll go from $4 to $5 billion teams once their expansion hits. they'll probably shoot up to like around 7 billion. So I wonder if that affect like does that include like the Lakers because they're already such above everybody else? Like I just wonder what's the long-term effect of it as well.
But how would adding teams increase the value for the Lakers?
Because
TV
that's
revenue.
depending on what conference you're in, that's 2 or 4 games more that you're gonna play a year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
National televised
Yeah.
games, stuff like that.
Televised game deal.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay.
I mean, to a certain degree, the added teams will take more pieces of the pie, but in the grand scheme, from the annual NBA's distribution, um, but from a grand scheme of things, expansion is usually good for the league. And like I said, once teams started reaching the $1 billion range, they started beating out the cost because for many, for the greater part of the 20th century, it wasn't really valuable to own a team. You're just doing that to be, being a club. Like
It was shunned upon for a while too.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, that's why former Clippers owner Donald Sterling. That's why he owned it. He didn't want to make money. But I mean, you talk about return on investment. You could wait out this TV deal alone, which is I think what 5, maybe 10 years. There's your return on your investment right there. Bare minimum, if nothing changes, you're making an estimated valuation of like looks like the Lakers' value goes up 300 million every year. TV deals. I'm not exactly sure how the TV deal. Whoa. Unbelievable.
Crazy in here.
Unbelievable.
Tommy's out of here.
But yeah, man. This is one of the most recognizable sports brands in American history, Northwestern history, the Western Hemisphere, the world maybe, even. So you're gonna make your money back. You're gonna make your money back. What this is really gonna do for the Lakers, since you can't really overspend on players, is this is gonna, entice even more free agents to come through. Come play for Mark Walter, the Dodgers. You can do some more TV deals, get you some more amenities.
Some crypto under the table.
Now
that's untraceable.
Now that we have an owner, we're gonna get the best practice facility on this side of the Mississippi. We're gonna get analytics is gonna go up crazy. We're gonna get we're gonna be the first team with the AI with an AI operations man. We're gonna go crazy. Better fan experience. No matter that's where all the money's gonna go. It's going in the amenities, the ambiance of being a Laker fan. That's where it's gonna go. Yeah. Crazy, man. Soon as you come off, you're gonna get massage. Yeah, dude. I can't wait. Lakers are fine.
Yeah, Lakers are fine. Yes. No, I mean I feel like we've been on here for about almost 2 hours now. I feel like it'd be a good time to wrap it up. I don't know if you guys have any closing thoughts on anything we talked about. No? You good?
I hope we get Game 7. Hope we get Game 7, man.
Game 7. That's what we hope. I think it's over tomorrow.
Are we going to be back at
so who do you think is going to win tomorrow? We're talking.
Thunder.
Wow.
Yeah, you think it's wrapped up tomorrow, too?
I think it's wrapped up, and it's wrapped up in a dominant fashion.
Like, we are the champions. We go into your home, 20-point win.
Yeah, because I don't think if Hallie even plays, he's playing because it's an elimination game and it's the championship. Would he be playing if it was game 40 of the season? Nah, he'd be resting.
Oh yeah.
So I think that you're gonna see the Thunder come out, and from the jump, I don't even think it's close. And I say that within I think it'll be that's cute. One of them.
He said, "Oh, that's cute."
What?
I think
he said, "Oh, that's cute." One of them, dog.
He's not there anymore. He's traded now.
I don't think it's close. I think the Thunder win. I would say I would feel comfortable saying they win by 8+ tomorrow, and cruise to a finals. And if that's the case, congrats, because that team has been the team all year.
I agree. I think if they close it out tomorrow, it'll just solidify them as an all-time great season. Maybe not all-time great team, but for sure an all-time great season for sure.
No doubt.
Yep.
Yeah.
All-time great
Well, with
season
that,
for Shai, too. Shea.
what do you say?
Sorry. This is all-time great season for Shea, too.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Finals
No doubt.
We don't talk
MVP,
about that.
MVP,
Trust
championship.
me. Yeah.
Yep.
No, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up with there. You know, a little. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Like I said at the beginning, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Game.
Peace.
Boom.
Recording still going.